Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Welcome to all the students of grade 7, year 8. I am Muhammad Zafar Khan, and in this lesson we will be learning chapter 1 computer languages, lesson 2. So let's start our lesson. The learning objectives for today's lesson are to describe the computer program and to describe the types of computer languages. Now we'll start the class with a warm-up task. The question is given on the screen, so pause the video and answer the given question. What is the brain of the computer called? So the correct answer is the CPU, Central Processing Unit. The second question is, how do we talk to computer? And what is the answer? The answer is programming languages or computer languages. So we can talk to our computer. We can give the instructions to the computer using a specific programming language. Now, what is a computer program? A computer program is a set of instructions which tells the computer what to do. Now, all the instructions are written in a set, and those instructions perform a specific job. Remember, students, that always a program is written in a programming language. Such programming languages are also known as computer languages, and the examples are C++, Java, JavaScript, etc. So a program means a set of instructions which tells the computer what to do. Now, a program may be very small or it may be very large. So a program may contain a single instruction or it may contain millions of instructions. It depends on the type of the program, and it depends on the requirements of the person who is writing that program. A person who writes a computer program is called a programmer. So if you write any program, whether small or large, using any computer language, then you will be a programmer. A computer language. We have already discussed computer language in the first lesson. So a computer language is used to communicate with the computer. Now, this computer language can also be used to write different programs or softwares, like Microsoft Word. Microsoft Word is a program and it is written in a computer language. Paint is also a program and it is also written in a computer language. Same is Microsoft PowerPoint. Now, students, you pause the video and search for this question. Why do we use a computer language to communicate with computer? Give a valid reason to this question. Now, on the screen you can see some of the examples of computer languages. Most famous one is Java and C++, but nowadays Python is also very famous. All these are computer or programming languages. So we can also say that a computer language is also known as programming language. Now we are coming to types of computer language. We have two types of computer language. Number one is the high level computer language, and number two is the low level computer language. In high level computer language we have C, C++, Java and Pascal. And in low level language we have machine language as well as assembly language. Now first let's discuss the low level language. A computer cannot understand human language. So a low level language is a basic computer instruction which interact with the computer hardware. So the low level language will access the computer hardware. If you want to do anything using computer, if you want to print, if you want to open, the computer is not gonna understand what you tell by words. means the computer doesn't understand your language. It only understands computer language. And low level language is a type of language that directly interacts with the computer hardware. Now computer hardware is the processor, is the memory, all these things are considered as computer hardware. Now we have two types of low level languages. One is the machine language. It was used in the early generation of the computers, and the other is the assembly language. Now machine language. Now machine language is always written in binary codes, and these binary codes contain 2 digits. Bi means 2, codes mean codes, means these codes are generated using 2 digits, and those 2 digits are 0 and 1. Actually, if you study the circuit system, in the circuit system these 2 codes 0 and 1 means on and off. If the circuit is on, the code will be 1. If the circuit is off, the code will be 0. So a machine language is always written in binary codes. Now machine language directly interacts with computer hardware, in which you have the processor, in which you have the memory and other hardware devices. Now it was used in first generation of computers. So machine language was used in the first generation of computers. The second question that I want to ask you is, what is the name of the first electronic computer? So this is your task. You have to find out. You have to Google it and find out and write down its name in your yellow books. The second one is assembly language. Now assembly language contain letters, okay, it contain words, and it also contain symbols. So when you write an assembly language program, it will be containing letters, words and symbols. Okay, now these letters, words and symbols which you write inside the assembly language program are called mnemonic codes. Mnemonic codes. Now some of the mnemonic codes are given here. Now in assembly language, this add, ADD, this means when you want to add 2 numbers. When you enter this sub, this is also a mnemonic code. This sub subtracts 2 number. And MUL, this is also a mnemonic code, and it multiplies 2 number. So whenever you write a program using the assembly language, you will be using mnemonic codes. And assembly language was used in the second generation of computers. Now high level language. A high level language use English words and symbols to write a program. Now here the high level language is more easier than the low level language, because in the low level language you can see machine language, which is binary code, which is very difficult to remember, and assembly language. Now the codes and the mnemonic codes of the assembly language are very difficult to remember, but in high level language you will use the English words, which are very easy to remember, which are very easy to write, and so on. So the examples of the high level language are given: C++, Java, Python. They are the best examples, and they are the most famous examples of high level language. Now when we write a program in a high level language using English words and symbols, it is then converted to machine language by another program which is called interpreter. Now remember boys, I told you students, I told you that the computer does not understand our language. Our language may be English, maybe Arabic, maybe something else. So the computer does not understand it. Computer needs everything in codes, in binary codes, that is 0 and 1. So when we write any program using these English letters, there is a software inside our computer with the name of interpreter. Now what does this interpreter do? Interpreter change your English code to binary code. And binary code is what? Binary code is in the form of 0 and 1. The computer can only understand binary code, binary language. Okay, so this is the task of the interpreter. Think and answer why each program written in a high level language needs to be converted into machine language or binary code. Answer is also given, but before seeing the answer you must think by yourself and answer it. Now here is a challenge for you. What is an interpreter? As I discussed earlier, so hope you know the definition of the interpreter. An interpreter is a computer program which translates the program code to machine code. Very simple, as I discussed earlier. Thank you so much for your time. If you have any confusion, you can ask. Thank you. Bye.